Hi, and welcome to BoardgameNinja. We've recently had a talk with Jay Cormier, who's the designer of Mind Management, the psychic espionage game based on the comic by Matt Kindt. Now, if you've never played this game before, you might want to check out the explainer video that we made also. Now, in this video, Jay will be sharing some of the tips for the recruiter of the game. So check it out. Jay, what's tip number one?
Tip one is in your first 5 moves, if it's possible to get up to 4 recruits, that seems super tempting, but that is a lot of information for the rogue agents. If you find 4, there's only so many places. Once they get any one hit in that area of a step token or a confirmed mental note token, it's like to get 4, because you only have 3 feature cards, that means one of them is duplicated. So if you got 4 in the first 5, already I'm trying to figure out a path of like what's duplicated in this area. So you went this way, this way, or this way. That's it. Already that information is very helpful. So just be wary that it's, as tempting as it is to get 4 in that first 5 moves, that is a lot of information you're giving away.
Right.
Number 2, avoid as much as possible the corners and the edge. So edges are very used very sparingly, because you have one less exit to go from that. If they know that you were here, there's only 2 other places you could have gone if they know which way you came. As opposed to if you're in the middle, there's 3 other ways you could have gone. So really reduce. So definitely don't go down a whole edge. That's death. I can find you really quickly if you do that. Because if you go in a corner, there's only one place you went. 100% you went to the around the corner. So that's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Here's a tip that I would say for recruiters is hugging your own path is very tricksy, where if you just make a big kind of like thing, that's fine. But if in your first beam you're going up and then down in the back, down this and around, and then covering around it, once they get a hit here and they get it here, they'll make assumptions without revealing that step token that this is 2 away, so this has got to be 1, this has got to be 4. This has to be 4, but it's like it's a totally weird number because you did and it's hard to understand if you kind of hug your path and like wrap around. And if you can, I don't know if there's another tip or the same tip, but if you can use your mind slip to jump over your path, that's really tricky. That makes it really tricky. That's what I find. Mm-hmm. Another tip would be using your Immortals. So obviously we're super motivated to use our Immortals to get new recruits from the features. That's pretty obvious. But in the early going, when you're setting up your recruits at the very beginning, but you know what your features are and you've already moved 5 spaces. And so where I place mine is I want to protect the feature where I am right now. And I want to protect the feature where I'm going in turn 6, because that's coming. And if I can, protect the feature in turn 4. Protect meaning they can't ask questions if their Immortals on it, right? Now, if someone played against me, they might be able to deduce that. But there's a lot of them. There's 4 of them, and there's 2 features. That's 8 features. So it's really hard to kind of put together what I'm protecting. So that's one thing I use. And then if you can move an Immortal to a feature, a location that has an Immortal recruiting feature and it protects one of your more recent moves, that's a really strong move. So don't just move anyone. Like really look and say, oh, this is a better one to move because it also protects me from the Flex Coffee Shop, which is where I'm at right now. Because that's the worst thing to happen is somebody asks, have you been to Flex Coffee Shop? And you've only been on one, and it's the one where you're at now. They don't know that's the one where you're at now, but if they have like an earlier one already confirmed, and then this one flips up, they know that that's way more recent. So it can be very detrimental. So try to protect your locations with your Immortals if you can. And then foregoing your Immortal and giving an extra step on the board so that you can move an Immortal again. Not foregoing, using it twice. That's a strong move, but I would never do it if there's no step tokens on the board. I'm not going to give you a step token for free. Absolutely not. I'll never ever do that. No matter how much I want to get that extra recruit. If you have no information, that's great for me. I don't want to give you anything. And then even if there's 1 on the board, I don't think I would. The only time I'll do it is if it's not giving you I think the only time I do it, I mean, obviously, it's gonna be an exception, I guess, especially if I'm really close to winning. But if I will give you a step token if it gives you no information, and it's tricky what people think is information because somebody say that confirmed 3 on the board. So somebody would say, well, I'll give you the 2. That doesn't give you information, but it does give you information because it gives you information on direction. Now everyone knows you're going this way. You know what I mean? So not that you put the 2 down, but you put the step token down. So it's tricky. It's tricky what I give, but I like to give. Obviously, if there's a 1 and a 3, I will 100% give you that. A step token on 2. That's the easiest thing to do to get that extra step for your Immortals in there.
We want to thank Jay for sharing his tips with us. Don't forget to check out the interview that we had with him, in which he shares some of the secrets behind the game. If you have any questions or want to share some tips of your own, make sure you leave them in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you next time. Bye!